Hey everyone, welcome to today's LinkedIn and Facebook Live with myself and Chris Edwards, as well as Nick from the Tricore Wellness team. So thank you all for jumping on today. I did just hit record, so we're gonna jump right into it on hybrid workplace fitness and wellness. So thank you all that are here for attending live, and we'll make sure we're gonna follow up with like this recording, some resources from Chris. So yeah, don't feel like you have to take 100 notes. You're gonna get a one pager with all the good stuff from today. Little background, Chris and I connected on LinkedIn, believe it or not, through a mutual friend who was networking and doing the whole connecting with the people thing. And I loved what Chris was doing because I saw him doing corporate wellness a little different with a focus on fitness. Like we were chatting before we jumped on, and he was telling me how he coaches executives through their platform, and like he's still the coach. And I think that's huge because a lot of mentors in our industry like step out of that. And in workplace wellness, I think it's important because I know for me, like I wouldn't be able to help people with LinkedIn if I wasn't connecting with my clients on LinkedIn and doing that stuff. So they're talking the talk, they're walking the walk, and really just want to give you all a good opportunity to learn about what's working for them, what they're seeing that clients are wanting from people in our industry, and then how you can also leverage stuff you're doing in your business to offer hybrid workplace fitness and wellness. So, with that, Chris, welcome, man. Thanks for being here. I'd love for you just to give us a quick overview on, what's new and exciting in your world today.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it. And happy to be here. Happy to share my information and story and, get more fit pros into the employee wellness, workplace wellness field. It's a great program solution for, a professional looking to grow and expand their business. There's obviously a lot of different ways to grow and expand your business. Workplace wellness is a phenomenal and also different way of doing it. Depending on whether you're trying to service locally, you're trying to service abroad. But yeah, we've been doing employee wellness solutions, I want to say since 2018. And believe it or not, Trainerize, the platform that we use, we're actually the employee wellness provider for all of their employees, believe it or not. So we have a long-standing relationship with them. We have a consulting relationship with them, also with ABC Fitness Solutions as well. So we've been able to really kind of leverage and put together specific strategies for employee wellness and workplace wellness solutions, primarily using the Trainerize platform. Obviously, we do virtual services and other services as well too, but that's a quick overview of us within the employee wellness field. Our expertise, how long we use in the platform, and there's a lot more I could share, but I'll hand it back over to you, Drew, so we can crank through this today.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for being here. Again, I just want everyone to know like that's the differentiator with the Tricore solution, other than like those tech platforms that companies are using, is like it's through Trainerize. You're training your clients as you would right now, and you're able to do it at scale. So I think that's pretty cool. So with that, Chris, what are companies looking for in a fitness professional when you're connecting with them? Like when you prospect to either, you're going to help the company yourself, or you bring on a trainer and they're going to support it. What's needed from the fitness professional to be successful?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Obviously, at a high level, it's going to start with a proper business assessment on the company that you're going to work with. But really having a multifaceted tool belt is really key to differentiate yourself as a fit pro and get into the industry, primarily the workplace wellness, employee wellness industry. So number one, having in-person services. We all have that primarily, right? Number two is having some streamlined virtual offerings. And then number three is having an app-based solution, right? So really, as a Fit Pro, those are really the three different delivery mechanisms that you need to be having right now to really grow and expand your business. If you have one or the other, that's okay. But having all three opens up many more doors for you as a fitness and wellness professional. So when companies come in, they're looking for a fitness professional to provide workplace wellness. Okay, obviously, knowing who the employee demographic is, obviously knowing what the business is looking for primarily. Is it just fitness? Is it fitness and nutrition? Is it fitness, nutrition, and habits? Is it stress management? Whatever. By having a 3-point solution in your delivery mechanism, in person, virtual, and app based, that's going to open up so many doors, and it's actually going to open the eyes of the person that you're working with at that company, so they can get creative themselves too and go, wow, you don't necessarily have to be here on site. We can do a virtual lunch and learn education session, and then you can follow it up with an app-based, challenge from Trainerize. Phenomenal. And by having that diversity in your tool belt, it's just going to open up the eyes, open up the doors to having more opportunities for sales in the employee wellness and workplace wellness field.
Yeah, I love the three tool approach. Like you said, streamlined app based or streamlined virtual. That's huge because I remember when we did a lot of on-site fitness services here in Phoenix because of the pandemic, we had to go virtual, right? And everything was from
Yep.
scratch. Nothing was streamlined, and like it took forever and it was clunky. So I'd love to know too, like the average go to market time with what you guys are doing. Like, hey, connect with the company, they want this hybrid service. Like, walk us through kind of what's from, hey, we're interested to, hey, we're doing this.
Yeah, obviously, I want to touch on the last point and stuff too. We really work with fitness pros to expand their auxiliary wellness services as well, right? So this is going to come right back into your question, your second question here. But, things like offering, we call them metabolic coaching sessions, right? So we're doing habits, we're doing BMR, we're doing TDEE, we're matching people up with the right habits like, okay, steps, water, sleep quality, all that kind of stuff. So by having different solutions outside of, say, day-to-day, in-person training, because a lot of us get stuck, and we've all seen it. We've all been trainers. We get it. Sometimes you're talking to your clients about like nutrition in your training session. Well, guess what? You're not getting paid for that consultation. Plus, you're diluting your training session because you're talking about nutrition. They're not staying on focus with their fitness services, right? So we help people pull out the content and the information that they have, put it into a delivery mechanism like a session or an app, like a virtual session or an app-based session, and that helps. Now, as you're working with an employer, okay, so you can see where this comes in. By properly positioning those auxiliary wellness services in your business model, you could also open up that menu to the employer and go, hey, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, and we can do this. So now, and the analogy that I like to use is like, you go to a restaurant, you open the menu, you see all the menu items, right? The waiter says, hey, here are the specials, and you're looking at different categories like appetizers, salads, main entrees, and desserts, okay? As a fitness pro, as you expand yourself, as you expand your wellness businesses, as you expand your delivery mechanisms, right? You just expanded your restaurant menu. So now your population set and the clients and the businesses you're going after are not just going to look at a small menu that only has like 3 fitness services here. They're going to look at fitness, nutrition, recovery, behavior change, app, virtual, online, whatever it may be. You've opened up the door more. So really the 1, 2, 3 is this, right? Narrow down the company objectives, okay? Narrow down the employee objectives, match it up with their budget, and then essentially put together a phased implementation plan for them. Their businesses, they want plans, they want outlines, they want objectives, okay? So they're gonna match up those objectives, not only with their own business objectives, like, hey, I need this to be an attractive employee benefit. I'm not necessarily concerned about healthcare costs. We're going into recruiting blitz in Q3 and Q4. So let's put together a program and actually let's market this program to the younger demographic because they want those value adds. Boom. Now they're actually using your program to market and sell to bring new people and higher level employees into the business. It's crazy. It works. It's been great for us too. So
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love it. I love it. So, I would love to talk about like the financial benefits for fitness professionals because, man, it's interesting. I know a lot of fitness professionals, and I think there's a big gap between those that, not that they don't value themselves, but those that treat their business like a business and those that are kind of like hesitant about talking about money. You know what I mean? Like they're not
yeah.
prior like we see it all the time. I see independent contractor yoga instructors who send like one invoice every 3 months, and I'm like, how does this work?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd love to know, like from your perspective, how people are winning on the financial side, going from their in-person services to the hybrid workplace fitness stuff.
Yeah, that's a really good question. It's in-person fitness services, and that model has been around since what, the 60s, right? So the industry and the consumer knows, exactly what they're going to get out of a 1 hour personal training session or a group session, right? Like they get that. Okay. What we do a lot to be able to help coaches and fitness businesses and professionals understand how to price properly within this new online and hybrid world is we'll actually do a lot of mentoring, consulting, and essentially assessment on them and their business and even their mindset. So we can actually put together a good priced and proper time cost analysis for a virtual or app-based service that they're actually putting together, right? We kind of use the joke here. We've been lucky because we were early adopters. Like we're 10 years into this, online and hybrid game and stuff, but we're kind of like the board of directors for a fitness pro or a fitness business that's looking to get into this arena because we have subject matter expertise in online and hybrid fitness business services, right? When a lot of other, coaches, businesses, whatever, they go out there, a lot of these other business coaches, they don't necessarily have this specific niche business expertise. This is all we do. This is what we live and breathe. I mean, Nick was one of our early adopters coming on board with Tricor too. He's in here today as well. And he's actually seen us expand and grow, not only himself personally, but also with the other coaches that we have too. Okay. So ultimately, when it comes down to like financials and stuff, one, it's going to be obviously understanding who the person is, we're working with and stuff too. Two, what is their service package? Three, where is their mindset? Four is obviously assessing their business operations. And five is obviously looking at their marketing strategy. So when it comes down to it, right, there are like four main buckets that we use. Obviously, we've done some derivatives to this to be able to, have better invoicing and the conversations about money and invoicing and things like that. But putting together different educational service packages is number one. Number two is doing like a low cost PEPM per employee per month strategy. So that's pretty easy to talk about when it comes to financials because you can say, hey, it's $3, $5, even up to $20, $30 per employee per month. We've used higher strategies, believe it or not, in the $200, $300 a month range, but that's another strategy for another time too, right? Bundled offerings, because there's a lot of value in the bundled offerings, that is also an option as well too. And then the last one too is doing upsells with, say for example, they have an employee stipend or they get a monthly benefit of $50 per month. So we're actually using that monthly benefit as part of our service package, and we use it in by about 3 different ways there too. So finding different ways to be able to have value-based education, okay, and that's pretty simple as far as for a pricing strategy that we would work with the individual on. Low-cost PEPM programs are also really, really good. Doing bundled offerings and showing a lot of value within that bundle, that's pretty easy to sell and stuff too. And then having different upsell strategies by understanding, hey, do they have any benefits that they're already using? Well, hey, let's talk about how we can use those benefits with different personalized services that we offer too. So I know I threw a lot at you, but we've got a lot of different ways to manage that. Yeah, for sure.
No, I think that's good, man. And I love the personalized approach because I hear so many mentors, they're like, yep, you got to sell high ticket and it's this cost and here's how it works. So I love how flexible that is. And I think too, like, I think as fitness professionals going into corporate, we should have like a minimum, like, hey, I need to make at least $1,200 a month on an account for it to be worth my time. So I'd be curious, like in your experience for newer fitness professionals going from, say, they've got 20 hours on the floor somewhere a week to one hybrid corporate account. What are you seeing on average, like the workload is on them managing it through the Trainerize tool?
It really depends on the program offering, and also like this is huge, okay? And we do a lot of work with this. We actually have Rob Yance. He's the world's leading Trainerize expert. So he's got like a Facebook group with like over like 5,000 Trainerize users in it, and he's been doing consulting with fitness pros using Trainerize for a long time. He's actually got a spreadsheet that he put together that is like it's a monster, right? So it analyzes based on the program parameters how much time you're putting into the virtual or app-based service and the cost of what you're doing, plus looking at different fees, taxes, and expenses and stuff. Really, what is your net revenue that comes out on the back end? So many times we're working with fit pros and they're like, man, I don't know why I can't make more money. And a lot of them think, hey, I got to grow, scale, get more people, go through all these like lead gen activities and stuff. And that's great. Don't get me wrong. But many times we can actually have them make more money by changing up one of those 4 parameters there, by analyzing what their program offering is, what is their net revenue at the end of the day. And we've been able to change some lives for some pros doing that, man. It's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I don't think most of us get into this field to be really good at like crunching numbers and pricing ourselves and stuff. So that's so cool. You've been able to create a system to help them, get that going.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, to get back, I mean, to the question, it's hard to answer that, but it just depends on so many variables. But
For
obviously
sure.
you can see there is definitely a system to be able to find what will that ROI be. It is all based on time and cost and your investment into the overall program as well, too. So a lot of variables, but if it's priced properly, because it's a virtual and an app-based service, it can be very high margin. So I can definitely tell you that for sure.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And I can relate too. I think going from a consumer-based service to a corporate service, like your pricing is going to be at least 1.5 times more. So that's awesome. So question on the like getting business side of things. I've done a lot of networking here in Phoenix. Like I've been doing this stuff since 2016 timeframe. And
Yep.
it's definitely a mixed bag of how fitness professionals are received in the networking world with insurance brokers, with, payroll companies, all that stuff.
Yep.
So I know you're in the Florida market. Like when you guys are out there networking, bumping elbows and stuff, is there different types of industries that are like, oh my gosh, you guys actually do this for businesses? How's that
Mhm.
been for you all?
Yeah, so we have a lot of strategies with this too. I'll name off 3 that have worked really well to get some businesses to come on board with us. Number 1 is obviously if we're still working with personal clients and they are business leaders, they're executives, they're C levels, whatever, talk with them. Like, do not be afraid to talk to your personal clients. If you have your personal clients on a newsletter system, blast it out, right? Say, hey guys, I'm expanding my business offerings. Want to let you know I now have a corporate solution, and I'd love to talk with anybody if you're passionate about helping your employees. If you don't ask, they will not come, right? You have to ask. And with what we do at Tricor too is like doing some business mentoring and kind of like the board of director strategy is like we're pushing people to do some of these things. And we want to get past some of those mental roadblocks, but you got to ask. It's like asking for testimonials. Like you got to do it. They're not gonna feel weird. Let's help you get past that and put together a good strategy. Right. So that's number 1. Personal clients, ask, ask, ask. Okay. Number 2, this one has worked very, very well for us. It's the nonprofit strategy. Okay. So I was actually on the executive leadership committee for the American Heart Association for the local chapter down here in Southwest Florida. Okay. So I got involved. I helped with the Heart Walk. Put your time in and do all that kind of stuff. Do some networking to help generate and help the nonprofit. But while you're there, guess who's on the executive leadership committees, right? You're talking about HR directors, you're talking about C levels, you're talking about all these decision makers. And when they know who you are, what you do, what your service package is, oh, you do employee wellness and workplace wellness solutions? Phenomenal. Let's chat. Let's have some lunch. Let's do it. I'm telling you right now, get involved with nonprofits locally. So whether it's Make-A-Wish, American Heart, doesn't matter. Find a great nonprofit that you believe in, lean into that, not only give back to the community, but also network. These are decision makers, and if they're aligned just like you are when it comes to fitness and wellness, you guys are going to have a really good synergy, and that's going to be a great little marketing tactic for you, okay? Last one's insurance brokers, man. They are all over the place, okay? A lot of them too are sales oriented, right? They're selling insurance and stuff like that too. With some of these companies like One Digital and many others, they have sales guides going out all the time looking for ways to sell their products, their insurance products and stuff. Get connected with them, take them to lunch, go golfing with them, whatever you have to do to find these guys. Get friendly with them. And if they have an employee benefits sector of these brokers, well, guess what? Hey, I have an attractive employee benefit, right? And that's part of what we'll do too, is like obviously work with our clients and say, okay, here's how you're going to leverage this. This is the program you're going to put together. What kind of client type is this guy selling to as a broker? Cool. You're selling to large volume. We're going to do a large volume solution. You're selling to, say, 30 to 100 employee sets based on his book of clients and stuff. Cool. You're going to offer this solution here. So those are three strategies. Your in-person clients, get after them, right? Nonprofits, get involved. And then number three, find those brokers locally and work with them to help you support growth in your business there too.
Yeah, thanks, man. That was really helpful. I appreciate the specific insight on the brokers because yeah, you got to find the right ones, and I love that. Um, yeah, so as far as like engagement in trainerize in your experience in the workplace wellness sector, I've come across a lot of different tech companies that offer the $3, $6 per employee per month solution. And I hear a lot of different information on their websites about like 20% of the population engages, 80% uses our app. So I'd be curious if
Yeah.
that's something that you guys want. I'm sure you track it, but like what's been your experience with both clients that you all work with internally and then fitness professionals that use the services? Like what's engagement been like for you all?
That's another good question, man. So Trainerize is primarily a coaching platform. So the features of the platform is teed up for you to engage and have a relationship with a user or a group of users. So what we've seen a lot of times, and this is the differentiation between some of the larger companies like Limeade and Virgin and things like that, it's a low cost PEPM. It's content based. It's kind of boring. There's no engagement. Okay. You have to differentiate yourself from those big guys. A lot of companies will go with them because it's a low cost solution. It's bundled with their insurance, all that kind of stuff. The way you differentiate yourself is you're going to bring in high touch service or moderate touch, whatever touch service, but it's a touch service, right? You're going to have a coaching experience with the employees that you're having. While you're doing that, you're developing relationships. So with a coaching experience, just like in person, you're developing relationships. Hey, what'd you do this weekend? Hey, what's going on? You know, you get friendly with them. You're going to be building relationships, and that's super key, right? Especially with a coaching platform like Trainerize, is there's so many features in there for you to not only grab health data on the individual, but also provide them some type of personalized touch, whether it's a monthly touch, a weekly touch, a daily touch. Doesn't matter. Having that touch factor and building that relationship, because Trainerize is a coaching platform, super key, man. I'll tell you what, that's how you differentiate yourself from the big guys. That's just kind of like, it's nothing much. I mean, I got buddies that work at large corporates and stuff all through the area down here, and they're like, yeah, I have it, but I just check boxes so I can get whatever benefit that I want to get, right? And then what do? They come over here to Tricor, they sign up with us, actually get like a personalized program, calories, macros, timings, fitness strategies, habit, whatever. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
they're checking boxes with the thing they have over there, and then they're just using their own money to get personalized services with us. So all right, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, but man, it so much comes down to the decision maker and if they want to check the box or they're actually willing to provide a good solution. And I think for us coaches, we care a lot. So we don't want to work with the companies that just want to check the box. Like we want to
No.
get them to welcome us on site. We want to be able to do on-site workshops, be able to do those coaching services. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
well, that's awesome. I appreciate you going through that with us. Would love to open it up for questions for Chris because he does have to jet out here in about 6 minutes. So, if anyone has specific questions on, the trainerized solution, how they help trainers get started, anything like that.
Awesome. Feel free to drop anything in the chat too, if you'd like.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm gonna get you all a one pager that's got like just more information on how their stuff works, opportunity to connect with Chris if you'd like. I know for me, Chris, when Chris and I initially connected, we were working on trying to get one of our local clients who's a country club to adopt the trainerized technology. And the big piece was like they don't do any services other than in-person stuff. So after I explored that, I had to get the team on board because they needed to implement it. And unfortunately at that site, those coaches are not interested in progressing much. Like they just want to do what they've always done. And I think we've all experienced that with colleagues in our industry. So the fit has to be right because obviously to have success, the company's got to have skin in the game with both investment and like, hey, we need to get this in play. So know that too. If you've ever had an experience with a company and it was like sour, it's not you, it's not the service, it's probably the person that made the decision. So definitely just keeping on and moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I see Austin dropped a little note in the chat there. What's the cost to work with us in business development? We actually have a full service menu, Austin. We have a monthly mastermind. It starts at $49 a month. Monthly mastermind, you get access to the previous recordings and stuff too. We talk all things online and hybrid trainerize. That's a lowest cost offering. We have consulting sessions. We even have business memberships. So we use a Google Space to be able to share files, chat, answer questions. It's a very, I would say, concierge-based business consulting solution. We also have larger retainer packages and stuff too. So if you need like full program build out, even back-end management, we have an enterprise level app with Trainerize as well too. So if you want to jump on our enterprise to have unlimited client slots and analytics board, like you were talking about, Drew, that's actually, we use that a lot when it comes to employee wellness solutions. They want to see the analytics. Okay. What's the down out ratios? How many workouts are completed? Who's logging in? Where are they logging in from? You know, things like that. We share those boards with our employee wellness accounts. So that way they know what's going on. You can also track, like, if they've connected devices, what devices are they connecting? Things like that. So we've got a wide range. Awesome. We'll make sure to get you some more information and get you to our services page and stuff so you can take a look. I'm also going to have a direct link in there for a 20-minute intro call. So we'll do an intro call, do a quick assessment on your business. And also, too, we have a lot of other, services that I didn't mention on here. So we'll get you the information and find something that, fits for you and your budget, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, thanks, Chris. Thanks for making this time for us, man. And I really appreciate who you are in our industry. I don't think there's enough coaches coaching out there in the tech space. So we appreciate it, man.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Drew. You're the man, dude. I know we've been chatting for a long time, and I feel like we're gonna be doing a lot more of these. So I'm excited. I love it, dude. Let's do it.
Yeah, good, man. From Arizona to Florida, we can make it happen through Zoom, right?
That's right. That's right.
Well, Nick, thanks for being on. I appreciate you all joining too. Again, I'll follow up personally with a message on one of the socials with a one pager with all these resources. Y'all can connect with Chris, and have a great rest of your day, y'all. Thanks for joining today.
See ya.
See you
Thank you,
guys.
everybody.
See you guys.